People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
WGLR-FM test audio.
And taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you People's State Bank and Grant Regional Health Center coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Faust Electric, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Bytech Incorporated, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Claire Bank, Donnie's Tire and Auto, Fuller's Milker Center, Gary's Pest Control, Community First Bank, Guy's Truck and Tractor Service, Hearnsville Robinson's Ace Hardware, Krantz Auto Parts, the Peterson Agency, the Raleigh Cheese House, Mound City Bank, the Russell Law Office, the Shoebox, Sloan Implement, Timmerman's Talents, Tricor Insurance, and Wolf Construction.
Round one between Mineral Point and Darlington was an instant classic, a game that was led by Mineral Point all the way through at the end. Darlington came storming back to tie things up, but it was Mineral Point and Jackson Wenhausen who would have the last say in that one as Wenhausen hit a buzzer-beating 3 to give Mineral Point the win. Since then, both teams have had solid seasons but suffered some blows. Darlington, sitting at 12-4, lost their last outing against Monroe and also dropped a conference game to Cuba City. And Mineral Point with just one blemish on the season so far, that coming to Southwestern. But nonetheless, both these teams have a lot to play for here tonight, on top of the fact that it's one of the best rivalry games in Southwest Wisconsin. The Birds and the Dogs, round 2 in Mineral Point. Welcome to Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school boys basketball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The stage is set for another great one between longtime SWAL rivals. It's the Darlington Redbirds and the Mineral Point Pointers. From the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, this is Matthew Ganinin. What a special game we've got on hand between both of these two teams tonight. We talked about where these teams are at just a little bit ago. We'll start off with Darlington as we set the scene here for this one. The Redbirds have 2 recent blemishes on that record. They're 12-4 overall in the season, 7-2 in the league. That's tied for second. The Redbirds early in the conference season, picked up a huge win over Cuba City, but it was the Cubans of Cuba City 60-58 over Darlington in match 2 to pick up a win there and tie the Redbirds for second as it stands in the conference right now. And as you'll hear in our interview with Coach Uppina on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show coming up here, it's been a tough week for Darlington. They've been busy. They had back-to-backs Monday and Tuesday and games that Coach Uppina says his team could have played better in. They went 1-2 in those after clawing back against New Glarus and then kind of falling apart at the last minute and losing one to Monroe. On the other side, Mineral Point was upset by Southwestern. The Wildcats led that one 60-41 over Mineral Point with about 15 minutes to go in that one. And while Mineral Point would lead with 30 seconds left, clawing their way back would be Everett Dressler of the Southwestern Wildcats right here on this court that hit the 3 ball to ruin Mineral Point's perfect season. That is the only blemish for Mineral Point, as I mentioned. 13-1 on the year, 8-1 in the SWAL. And the same night that game happened is the night of the Darlington-Cuba game. So Mineral Point has remained alone in first since their win over Darlington in the SWAL. Mineral Point's gotten back on track, and some players have started. Eli Lindsay in particular, one player I talked about with Coach Burrison, which you'll hear more about when you hear our interview with him coming up on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show, is Eli Lindsay. Lindsay has reached his 1,000th career point recently, put up 41 against Boscobel and led the Pointers to 3 key wins against the Dodgers, the Belleville Wildcats, and the Bulldogs of Boscobel. It's been 5-5 in the last 10 matchups between these two teams. Mineral Point, they've won the last 2, and they've won 3 of the last 4, so the Pointers been more dominant as of late, and they will look to keep it up here tonight, and Darlington going to look to spoil the Pointers' first place position in the SWAL. It's going to be a great one here. You're listening to the Raleigh Cheese pregame show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Tom Uppina of the Darlington Redbirds after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR in the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 1.
Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont and Prairie du Chien is who to call for top quality CHI overhead doors. Enhance the curb appeal and security of your home by choosing the fine line of CHI overhead doors from Carey's. And when it comes to seamless gutters that keep your home protected from water damage, Carey's has you covered too. Visit Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com today to learn more. They'll service all the rest, and they deal in the best. Get your new CHI overhead doors at Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont and Prairie du Chien.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the hygiene brand of products, as well as other dairy hygiene products. Make your operation more efficient and profitable, and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com.
From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
October is Soybean Cyst Nematode Action Month, and Nick Tinsley with BASF says farmers need to know their number.
Many growers who may have economic levels of SCN may not be aware that they've got a problem in their fields. And so probably the best way they can start to take action is by getting a soil test done. This is going to allow them to know what risk they're facing.
He says if left unchecked, the financial toll of SCN is staggering.
There are many times where we don't even see any above ground symptoms whatsoever. In those cases, it's still possible to lose up to 30% of your yield.
However, Tinsley says farmers can make a plan.
Knowing the risk that you're facing is the first step toward having a comprehensive management plan that includes a number of different tactics. Using crop rotation with a non-host crop is a great step that can really start to impact your bottom line.
Formulate your plan by visiting scnactionmonth.com to learn more.
Pregame 1.
Pregame show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tonight, we're at Mineral Point High School for the rematch between the Mineral Point Pointers and the Darlington Redbirds. We are now joined by Tom Uppena, the head coach of the Redbirds. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
All right, so taking a look at where you're at in this season in the conference, you've had 7 wins and 2 losses, tied for second with 5 conference games remaining. 2 of those games are against some of the league's best, Mineral Point and Southwestern. How are you and your coaching staff feeling about where you sit in the SWAL right now and about your conference slate going forward?
Well, I guess at the end of the day, we're, as of right now, still in control of potentially at least splitting for first in conference, and that was our goal coming in. One of our goals coming in was to try to win a conference championship. But that all happens if we win tonight. So we got to take care of business right now and, see what happens after tonight. And there's still a lot of games left and some tough ones coming up. So, but it all starts with tonight.
Now, Zeke Zuberbuehler has been starring for your Redbirds on offense as of late, putting up 28 against Fenimore and 28 against New Glarus in a pair of big wins. How big of an asset has his offense been in not only propelling your team to wins, but also opening things up for some of your other guys offensively?
Yeah, Zeke's been dynamite for us. He's been shooting the ball really well, finishes at the rim, gets to the free throw line, leads us in that category as well. So he's an offensive player. That's what he does for us. That's his role. He's done it really well, and he shoots at a high percentage. So when you have a guy like that and another guy like Broker who can, that's just going to get more looks for him and some of the other guys. So he's done a great job with his role for us this year, and I look for him to continue to do that.
Now, one thing you and I just talked about is how busy this week has been as you took on New Glarus and Monroe in the non-conference earlier this week on a Monday, Tuesday back-to-back. What did you take away from those 2 games, 1 win and 1 loss, and what do you think that's going to do tonight in terms of helping you, hurting you, or a mix of both?
Yeah, I think it was we weren't at our best. We got down to New Glarus at half by quite a bit and had to really battle back and get the lead on that one. And then Monroe, we didn't play our best. We were off. And sometimes you need games like that. Not that you love losing, but it's an opportunity at the very least to fix some things and work on some stuff. And I think it was a little bit of an eye opener for us that we're still not where we need to be, and we have to be a lot better tonight than we were those previous 2 games, or it's going to be a long night for us.
Now for the Russell Law Office's injury report, are your Redbirds still healthy coming into this one?
As of right now, yes. Yep.
All right, and you played very well against Mineral Point last time around, losing on a last-second buzzer beater. What will it take to flip the script tonight and pick up a win against Mineral Point in their own gym? Yeah,
we got to play solid defense. They got 3 outstanding players that lead them in scoring, and they each can do their own thing. We can't let them get loose and get hot from 3. So defensively, we got to be locked in. We got to make shots. You always got to make shots, but especially in games like this, if you don't shoot well, you're not going to win. So we got to be as good or better than we've been all year offensively. And then we just got to come out and compete. And if we play hard and compete and get after it, even if we don't win, we can at least walk away with our heads held high.
All right, thank you to Coach Tom Uppena for joining us on the Rally Cheese pregame show. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Once again, that's Coach Tom Uppena of the Darlington Redbirds. You'll hear from Coach Dan Burrison of the Mineral Point Pointers after these messages on the Rally Cheese pregame show. This is high school boys basketball on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 2.
Anderson Weber Toyota invites you to the Dubuque Auto Show Friday, January 31st through Sunday, February 2nd at the Grand River Center. Stop by their booth to get an up-close look at some of the newest and most popular Toyota models on display in a temperature-controlled environment. Their sales team will be on site to answer your questions and help you find the Toyota that's right for you. You'll also have the opportunity to win some great prizes. Don't miss the Dubuque Auto Show with Anderson Weber Toyota when you're ready.
Tune in to the Southwest Tech Agriculture Farm Show with Bob Mittendorf weekday mornings from 5 to 6 a.m. Bob Mittendorf is the premier agriculture voice in the tri-state area, and he's teamed up with Southwest Tech to give you the latest agricultural news, markets, and a whole lot more. So don't miss the Southwest Tech Agriculture Farm Show with Bob Mittendorf right here on 97.7 Country and WGLR.com. Southwest Tech, this is where you belong.
What does the Lifetime Comfort Guarantee from Dubuque Mattress really mean? It means peace of mind. For the entire life of your Dubuque mattress, we will adjust the feel of it. If it feels a little too firm, we'll make it softer. If your mattress feels too soft, we'll make it firmer. We take the "what if I don't like it" out of mattress shopping to give you peace of mind. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
At Dubuque Mattress Factory, you got a little snooze time.
When it comes to tire needs, don't reinvent the wheel. Just visit Dewey's Tire. Dewey's has you covered with car and truck tires, trailer tires, plus tires for ATVs and UTVs. Dewey's can even service tire pressure monitor sensors. And when you're busy all week but still need to get that tire taken care of, Dewey's is open Saturdays too. Stop by and check out their latest discounts. Come see why they are the best place to take a leak. Dewey's Tire, a mile north of Platteville on Highway 81.
Pregame 2.
Back in the Rally Cheese pregame show, and tonight Darlington is in Mineral Point as the Redbirds get set to battle the Pointers on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. We are now joined by Dan Burrison, the head coach of the Mineral Point Pointers. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you, Matthew.
Now, first, I do want to touch on the Southwestern game. In that game, you found your opponent shooting the three ball at nearly 60%, and while you were able to erase the 19-point deficit, you were not able to complete and secure the comeback win. Since then, you've responded with one conference win and two non-conference wins, however. What growth have you seen from your team since the loss?
Well, I hope we're growing every day after wins and after losses. I mean, you have to give opponents credit, right? Southwestern shot it really well. Obviously, we need to defend better than we did that night. I think we've done that since, but it's still a matter of consistency, and that's kind of what everybody's looking for.
And as we go into this later stretch in the year, there have been a lot of important and big non-conference games popping up on your schedule. You just had Belleville and Dodgeville coming up. You've got Lancaster, Potosi, Marshall, and Platteville, among others. What do you think having those tough non-conference games in January and February does to propel your team through the rest of the year?
Yeah, well, we just try to play quality competition night in and night out. I think the big thing is if you want to compete in our league, and that's always priority number one, you got to play against good competition to get yourselves ready. And, our focus is on tonight and trying to get ready for a very good Darlington team.
Now, one player who's likely going to start tonight is Eli Lindsay, who's been hitting his stride the past couple of weeks. He put up 41 against Boscobel, scored his 1,000th career point against Belleville, and was one of the leaders in your win over Dodgeville. What has he been able to provide to this team, specifically offensively, as of late?
Yeah, well, I think the thing about Eli is that he's got the ability to score on the perimeter and in the post. And we've got, other guys that can do that as well. I think the big thing is he, along with everybody else, they're looking for ours, not theirs, and they're willing to share the ball. And he's been open and has played very well as of late. And I just think, the key for us is to move the ball and to share the ball. And I think he does a really good job doing that. I think we've done a good job doing that. We're going to need to do that tonight.
All right, now for tonight's Russell Law Office's injury report. Are there any new injuries to report before this one tonight?
No, we should be good.
And taking a look at Darlington, well, you are 5-5 against the Redbirds in your last 10. You've won the last 2 and 3 of the last 4. What will it take to build that winning streak and pick up a key conference win tonight over the Redbirds?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a really good effort. I think 2 good teams playing tonight. I think there's a lot of good teams in our league. There's been some close games in our league, and like we always say, I think the little things, right? I mean, teams going to have to rebound, going to have to defend, going to have to get loose balls, long rebounds, those types of things. I mean, this will be a great atmosphere. It should be a good high school basketball game.
In Friday Night SWAL action, it's Darlington and Mineral Point. We would like to thank Coach Dan Burrison for joining us in the Rally Cheese pregame show. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks, Matthew.
Once again, that's Coach Dan Burrison of the Mineral Point Pointers. We'll wrap up the Rally Cheese pregame show after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 3.
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
Spring isn't here yet, but it will be soon, and so will many spring projects for home and business owners. Now is the perfect time to get in front of your potential customers at the Queen Bee Radio Home and Outdoor Show, Saturday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Eckstein Exhibit Building at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Lancaster. Reserve your space now by contacting your Queen Bee Radio sales rep or call Jen Casper for more information at 608-349-2000. The Queen Bee Radio Home and Outdoor Show, Saturday, March 22nd in Lancaster.
Pregame 3.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Getting set for this massive SWAL boys basketball battle between the Redbirds of Darlington and the Pointers of Mineral Point. We'd like to thank coaches Tom Uppena of the Redbirds and Coach Dan Burrison of the Mineral Point Pointers for their time on the Rally Cheese pregame show. And in those interviews, you heard the Russell Law Office's injury report. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. Let's take a look at what's going on in the area tonight on our stations and some other games in the area on the Shoebox Scoreboard, which is, of course, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. In SWAL action tonight, obviously, we got this one here in Mineral Point on our sister station, Dubuque Super Hits 106, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The Cuba City Boys are at Fenimore to battle the Golden Eagles. Boscobel travels to Iowa Grande, and Southwestern is at Riverdale tonight. And our final game in our Queen Bee Radio family of stations, 3 tonight. That last game in Argyle, as it's River Ridge at Argyle Pecatonica in girls basketball action. That one is on the X Extreme 107.1 WPBL FM. Those are the games in the area tonight on the Shoebox Scoreboard, and we'll take a look at the Shoebox Scoreboard as we go throughout the night here, bring you some updates on some scores in the area. It's going to be a great Friday night of hoops. Now let's take a look at our starting lineups for this one. Those starting lineups are presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. First, the starting lineups for the visiting Darlington Redbirds. Redbirds are coached by Tom Uppena, 12-4 on the season, 7-2 in SWAL action, tied for second in the league. They're 5-1 on the road this year, we should know. Starting for the Redbirds, a 6-foot sophomore guard, number 0, Dante Glendenning. A 6'2 senior guard, number 1, Taggart Guiley. A 5'10 junior guard, number 3, Kagan Paisley. A 6'1 sophomore guard, number 5, Zeke Zuberbuehler. And rounding out the first 5 for the Redbirds, a 6'3 junior guard, number 12, Broker Busher. On the other side, for the Pointers of Mineral Point, ranked number 2 in the state, 13-1 on the year, 8-1 in the SWAL, good for first. Their only loss came at home just 2 Fridays ago. Mineral Point led by head coach Dan Burrison in his 30th season. His 5 for tonight. The 6'4 senior guard, number 5, Jackson Wenhausen. A 6'5 senior guard, number 10, Eli Lindsay. 6'3 junior guard, number 11, Drew Ashelman. The 6'2 senior guard, number 12, Tucker Dannenberg. And rounding it out for Mineral Point, the man in the middle, the 6'4 senior post, number 32, Jacob Phillips. Those are the starting lineups for both teams presented by Fuller's Milker Center. We'll take a break. The Rally Cheese pregame show continues after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 1.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between 2 great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free. Plus, earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
Anderson Weber Toyota invites you to the Dubuque Auto Show Friday, January 31st through Sunday, February 2nd at the Grand River Center. Stop by their booth to get an up-close look at some of the newest and most popular Toyota models on display in a temperature-controlled environment. Their sales team will be on site to answer your questions and help you find the Toyota that's right for you. You'll also have the opportunity to win some great prizes. Don't miss the Dubuque Auto Show with Anderson Weber Toyota when you're ready.
In Game 1.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Just about to get going in this one between the Mineral Point Pointers and the Darlington Redbirds in Friday Night Hoops. Now let's take a look at the colors of the game presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. The visitors for Darlington and their away blacks tonight. Those Nike uniforms with Darlington across the chest in red numbers as well. White outline on both, some red and white trim on the uniforms. And for Mineral Point, the baby blue and royal combo set on their home white Nike uniforms. Pointers across the chest in the Kansas Jayhawks font. Baby blue numbers, baby blue lettering with royal blue outline, baby blue and royal trim on those uniforms. We'll tell you that today's game is brought to you by Mountain City Bank, whose total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offers subject to approval. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. Community First Bank, for the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com. Member FDIC. Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs at Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Melody Hawkins of Exit Professionals Real Estate, Monroe. Her experience in real estate takes the stress out of buying your next home, farm, or business. For all your real estate needs, Melody Hawkins, Exit Professional Real Estate, Monroe. Eggers Enterprise in Linden, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping. They're not done until your expectations are met or exceeded. Check them out on the Weber Facebook and call 608-513-2190 today. Lafayette County Abstract and Title in Darlington and Tri-County Title Service in Platteville. Serving Southwest Wisconsin since 1981. Selling your property. Call Heath for title insurance and an insured closing. Visit either Main Street location or on the web. Saunders Oil Company of Warren, family owned for 3 generations, offering delivery of premium diesel fuel and gasoline products to tri-state home, farms, and businesses. Saunders Oil Company of Warren. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy's Construction Incorporated is a family-owned and operated ready-mix aggregate and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. The first supply, first half comes your way after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR and WGLR.com.
In Game 2. The Peterson Agency in Argyle is an experienced professional insurance agency serving many clients throughout the region. Many of the Peterson Agency's clients choose Hastings Mutual as their insurance company because Hastings Mutual is stable and progressive, just like the Peterson Agency. Contact the Peterson Agency today to discuss your insurance needs, whether it's for your farm, home, car, or business. They'll design a program especially for your protection. The Peterson Agency in Argyle and Hastings Mutual Insurance, because proper insurance protection is important.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
in Game 2.
Welcome back to 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, about to get underway from Mineral Point High School between Mineral Point and Darlington. Here is the national anthem, brought to you by the Mineral Point High School Pep Band, live at the Scott Schmitz Community Gym at Mineral Point High School.
Our national anthem.
There's the national anthem live from Mineral Point High School. Take one more break before tip-off. This is Mineral Point and Darlington on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 3.
Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont and Prairie du Chien is who to call for top quality CHI overhead doors. Enhance the curb appeal and security of your home by choosing the fine line of CHI overhead doors from Carey's. And when it comes to seamless gutters that keep your home protected from water damage, Carey's has you covered too. Visit Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com today to learn more. They'll service all the rest, and they deal in the best. Get your new CHI overhead doors at Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont and Prairie du Chien.
Tune in to the Southwest Tech Agriculture Farm Show with Bob Mittendorf weekday mornings from 5 to 6 a.m. Bob Mittendorf is the premier agriculture voice in the tri-state area, and he's teamed up with Southwest Tech to give you the latest agricultural news, markets, and a whole lot more. So don't miss the Southwest Tech Agriculture Farm Show with Bob Mittendorf right here on 97.7 Country and WGLR.com. Southwest Tech, this is where you belong.
In Game 3.
Back on 97.7 Country, WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel as we introduce the starting lineup here from Mineral Point High School between the Darlington Redbirds and the Mineral Point Pointers. Tonight's game brought to you by Schneidl's Heating and Cooling, your local Daikin dealer. Call Bradley Schneider for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service from Schneidl's Heating and Cooling in Bloomington. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provides exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, better health starts here. And Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. And Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Maine in Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. It's go time here from the Scott Schmitz Community Gym between Mineral Point and Darlington in the rematch in Swall Boys Hoops. Broker Busher and Eli Lindsay meet at center court, and there's the tip. It's won by the Pointers of Mineral Point, and they'll start off on offense. Here's Drew Ashelman, moves up to Jackson Wenhausen for the Pointers. Mineral Point moving right to left as we see it from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, opposite of what you see on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lindsay backs down Busher, goes back to Ashelman. Now Phillips on the outside, swings it back to Ashelman, top of the key. Over to Dannenberg. Dannenberg looks baseline, inside, turns it over into the hands of Guiley. Up ahead to Busher, who will slow things down for Darlington. 30 seconds into this one, Mineral Point does not get a shot up on their first possession. Instead, it's Darlington who will look to strike first. Busher on the perimeter, over to Glendenning. Now Zuber Bueller, the biggest offensive threat for Darlington, drives. Shot rejected by Ashelman, out of bounds, Mineral Point ball. Drew Ashelman wins the first battle defensively for Mineral Point. and we're going to see some early full court pressure here from the Redbirds of Darlington. Ashelman to walk it up with Kagan Paisley in his face, gets it up, and backs out. Goes to Eli Lindsay. Now Tucker Dannenberg in the corner. Dannenberg works inside, looks for Phillips. Lindsay, corner, 3-ball, up, no good. Rebound hauled in by Busher. Busher goes up to Paisley. Now Busher, he'll take the 3 right away, and it's on the money. A 3-ball for Broker Busher to open up the scoring for the Darlington Redbirds. Broker Busher shooting a very good clip from beyond the arc, averaging 20.3 points on the season. On the other end, Ashelman, tough bucket, backs into the lane and lays it in for a pair. Darlington 3, Mineral Point 2, minute and a half into this one. In the middle, now back out, Guiley works it inside, up to Busher. Busher working right, met by Lindsay, over to Zuberbuehler. Off a screen, pointer switch, and we'll get a travel call. Zuberbuehler turns it over. It's Mineral Point basketball. Tonight's game brought to you by Russell Law Offices, here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Wenhausen into Lindsay. Redbirds lead the Pointers 3-2, 2 minutes into this one here for Mineral Point. Ashelman works to his left, inside all the way. Short on the layup. Rebound brought in by Paisley. Now Zuberbuehler pushing the pace for Darlington. Goes back to Busher. Now inside Paisley. On the baseline, out of bounds. Mineral Point ball as Paisley lost his footing. A little slow to get up. Helped up there by Zuberbuehler and Lindsay. Glad to see he's all right. Wenhausen into Ashelman. They'll take it up here for Mineral Point. Ashelman leaves for Lindsay on the perimeter. Lindsay backing down, turnaround jumper, up, no good, back iron. Rebound falls into the hands of Zuberbuehler. Both teams pretty slow on offense to open up here. Glendenning leaves for Paisley. Paisley to Busher. Busher with another mismatch. He's got Dannenberg on him right now. And now baseline, Zuberbuehler once again. Out of bounds, baseline is Darlington. It's Mineral Point basketball. That's 3 early turnovers for Darlington. Lindsay takes it up here for Mineral Point. Ashelman with the lone bucket for the Pointers so far. Still down 1 early. Dannenberg on the outside. Swings to Ashelman. Ashelman over to Dannenberg. Now Dannenberg on the wing to Wenhausen. Double comes right away. Dannenberg fires the 3. It's on the way, and it's no good off the back iron. Rebound falls to Busher. We see Wenhausen doubled. First time he's got the ball tonight. We'll see if Darlington continues. Works for that time offensively. Zuberbuehler. Busher. 3-ball up. Airballed. Now Ashelman for Mineral Point, over to Tucker Dannenberg. Back to Ashelman. Mineral Point with just 1 made field goal so far. Lindsay, baseline, Phillips, outside. Ashelman, 3-ball, up. Got it! Drew Ashelman, 2 for 3 tonight. 1 for 1 from beyond the arc there with his first 3-ball of the night. Pointers poke it out of bounds, so it'll be Darlington to inbound it from the half-court line. Dempsey into the game for Mineral Point. First substitution of the night. Tucker Dannenberg takes to the bench for the Pointers. Here's Guiley. Switches hands right to left. Now Zuberbuehler in the far baseline as we see it from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth. Zuberbuehler up top, over to Busher. Busher, that one poked away, stolen away. Here goes Wenhausen the other way, and he is fouled. Couldn't tell if that was going to be a travel or a foul. It is a foul, excuse me, on Darlington. It's going to go on Glendenning. Checking in for Darlington, we're going to have Grady O'Brien, Paxton Paisley, and the star freshman, Ryder Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons averaging 10.7 points per game this year for the Redbirds. Inside, Phillips. That bunny, no good. Rebound hauled in by O'Brien. 5-3 Mineral Point, 13:30 on the clock, first half. Zuberbuehler goes to Fitzsimons. Now O'Brien on the baseline. Leaves for Paxton Paisley. Busher tries the three. That one skips over the rim, no good. Out of bounds, last touch by Zuberbuehler. Tucker Dannenberg looks like he's getting some attention from the athletic training staff on what looks to be his left hand, so we'll keep an eye out for that one. Ashelman walking up the court, stumbles but gets it away to Dempsey. Dempsey off the bench, averaging about 7 points per game for Mineral Point, and the foul going to come there on Zeke Zuberbuehler. So 2 fouls on Darlington, and certainly a player there that they don't want picking up many fouls as he gets one there. Here's Wenhausen. Takes the mid-range jumper. That one skips off the rim. No good. 5-3 Mineral Point. 5 minutes into this one. Just 3 made field goals so far. Fitzsimons will try a 3, and that's off the mark. Rebound to Wenhausen. Ashelman to take it up for the Pointers. Over to Wenhausen. Off a screen. Left alone in the mid-range, and that's easy for Jackson Wenhausen as he gets his first field goal of the fall. Mineral Point 7, Darlington 3, and looks like it's no timeout, just an official timeout. Looks like a Redbird had a bloody nose. That's Grady O'Brien. Glendenning will take back to the floor as Potterton checks in for Mineral Point. Here's Darlington. Mineral Point leads 7-3, 12:30 on the clock. Glendenning on the outside, over to Paxton Paisley. Now Zuberbuehler. Looking to get to Busher. He'll keep it himself. Now over to Busher on the far side wing. Paisley back to the near side. Swings it to Glendenning. Glendenning works inside. Stops out. Busher, he'll work his way inside. Layup. No good. Rattling in and out. And saved by Dempsey. Nice hustle play by the Mineral Point junior. Lindsay, head fake, now leaves for Ashelman on the outside. Ashelman won't use the screen, drives, and lays it in off the glass for 2. Ashelman with 7 of Mineral Point's 9. Here's Zuberbuehler, scoreless so far. Fitzsimons drives, collects, turnaround layup, no good. Rebound to Dempsey. 11:30 on the clock, Pointers leading 9-3. Lindsay outside, Wenhausen driving, layup, good. Wenhausen wills that one in, and we've got a timeout on the floor by Coach Uppin and the Redbirds. We'll take 1-2. Mineral Point 11, Darlington 3. Back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 4, Steve Schmidt's Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton has unique team treasures. They have over 25,000 signed sports cards, plus autographed photos, bobbleheads, caps, signed baseballs, and more. That's Steve Schmidt's Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton.
They are your world. Let's keep them healthy and well this winter season. From colds and flu to well-child checkups, Dr. Kim Pertut practices full-spectrum family practice, including obstetrics, accepting most major insurances, including Quartz, Medical Associates, and Dean, to name a few. For appointments at our Lancaster or Potosi Clinic locations, call 608-723-2131. Grant Regional Community Clinic. Better health starts here.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
In Game 4.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Not an empty seat in the house tonight as the Pointers take on the Redbirds of Darlington. This one's stolen away by Keaton Dempsey. Looks to go all the way and stolen right back by Zeke Zuberbuehler. Good hustle play by the Redbird sophomore as his Birds are down to Mineral Point. Pointers leading 11-3. Dempsey steals this one right back. Going the other way, and it was poked out there by Busher, out of bounds. It'll stay with Mineral Point off of the Redbirds. Very high-level basketball here between these two sides. Just under 11 to play in the first, as we mentioned, an 11-3 lead for Mineral Point. The pointer so far with 7 from Ashelman, 4 from Wenhausen. Darlington with just 1 made 3, that coming from Broker Busher. Dempsey on the outside goes to Lindsay. Up top, Lindsay directs traffic. Lindsay, the 8th Mineral Point player all time to hit 1,000 points. He hit that mark 6 days ago. Lindsay tries the 3 ball. That one in and out. No good from deep is Eli Lindsay on his first attempted shot of the night. Busher goes over to O'Brien, met by Potterton on the perimeter, back to Busher. Busher gets a switch on the screen. Goes over to Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons double came for a second, then falls off. Busher's on the outside. Kicks to O'Brien as we approach the 10-minute mark in the first half, with Darlington still only with 1 made field goal. Busher working right, leaves for O'Brien. O'Brien into the lane, blocked by Lindsay. Lindsay with a monster swat. Now Ashelman the other way, turns it over. In transition, Fitzsimons gets out ahead of it and can't lay it in. Now Zuberbuehler with the 3, short, rebound to Wenhausen. A lot of action in there to come up with no points. Ashelman up for Mineral Point to Lindsay. Now Wenhausen in the near corner. Works inside, spins, jumper. Up, too strong, no good. Rebound to Zuberbuehler. Here comes Zuberbuehler in transition. Going to work on Ashelman, and we'll get a blocking foul on Drew Ashelman. Zuberbuehler draws the contact, and that's the first foul of the night on blue and white.
The team's first. In for the pointers, number 3, Brett Bosser. And number 32, Jacob Phillips.
Bosser and Phillips in for Mineral Point. They'll give Ashelman and Potterton a break. Zuberbuehler to inbound. Busher was left alone, and a major lapse by Mineral Point defensively as Busher gets that one to go inside. Lindsay working on Busher. Over to Wenhausen. Inside, layup, up, good. That one rattles home for Jackson Wenhausen. That's his 3rd made bucket of the night. Inside, Paisley leaves it short, and we'll get a foul against Darlington. That's going to go on Paxton Paisley.
Darlington fouls on number 2, Paxton Paisley.
Couple subs coming in for Darlington. Glendenning, Guiley, and Kagan Paisley into the game.
Number 1, Taggart Guiley. And number 3, Kagan Paisley.
Here comes Mineral Point. Lindsay working it up. He'll take it all the way, and we'll get a blocking foul on Darlington, and layups on the way for Lindsay.
Darlington fouls on number 1, Taggart Guiley.
That's going to be the first foul on Guiley, already 4 on Darlington.
Shooting 2.
First free throw for Lindsay, up and good. Eli Lindsay, the best free throw shooter for this team. Hits him at a rate about 83%.
Checking in for the pointers, number 12, Tucker Dannenberg.
Dannenberg comes back in for Mineral Point. Lindsay's 2nd free throw, good as well.
Returning for the pointers, number 11, Drew Ashelman.
Here comes Zuberbuehler. Mineral Point leads Darlington 15-5 with 8:20 on the clock. Zuberbuehler, coast to coast, leaves it short. Ashelman picks the board off the rim. Now Wenhausen to Dannenberg in the near corner. Dannenberg back to Wenhausen. Wenhausen spins to go baseline, and a foul going to go on Darlington. That might be number 2. But it is not going to be number 2 on Guiley. It's going to be number 2 on Zuberbuehler. 5 team fouls on Darlington there, and that sends Wenhausen to the line to shoot a pair. First one short for Wenhausen.
Checking in for Darlington, number 10, Michael Larson.
Michael Larson into the game for the first time for Darlington. Bryan's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Bryan's get the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, hit the Bryan's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Free throw number 2, good for Wenhausen. Mineral Point now leads 16-5, and Dannenberg rams into the Mineral Point bench, trying to poke that one out. It'll stay with Darlington as Lindsay's back in for Mineral Point. Here's Guiley. Over to Glendenning on the far side wing. Glendenning will back out and go over to Larson. Now Busher. Guiley to Busher. Busher loses it on the deck. Phillips with it, gets it to Lindsay. Mineral Point picks up the steal. On the other end for Mineral Point, here is Eli Lindsay over to Brett Bossert. Now Ashelman on the outside. Lindsay tries to work baseline, swings it out. Dannenberg, 3-ball on the way. Went through, but we will not count it as it went off the top of the backboard.
Returning for the point is number 5, Jackson
Wenhausen quickly in and out. .7:20 on the clock. Darlington coming up the floor here. Here's Guiley on the outside. Now Larson to Glendenning. Guiley driving inside, left alone, gets it to go. Taggart Guiley with his first bucket of the night there as Phillips tried to draw the offensive foul. Easy 2 for Guiley. 7 minutes on the clock, 16-7 in favor of the Pointers. Dannenberg drives it inside, can't get it to go. Phillips, offensive board, put back, no good. Rebound to Busher. Busher looks to push, up to Larson. Larson, and we'll get a foul on Phillips.
Mineral Point fouls on number 32, Jacob Phillips, his first. Team second, returning for the Pointers, number 21, Keith Dempsey.
Dempsey back in for Mineral Point. Shot no good there. Rebound brought in by Phillips. 6:30 on the clock, 16-7 Mineral Point. Here's Wenhausen up for Mineral Point. Works it inside and we'll get a blocking foul on Kagan Paisley. That's going to be the first on Kagan Paisley. And the next foul will send Mineral Point to the free throw line the rest of the way. Fitzsimon's going to come back in for Larson. Wenhausen into Phillips. Now Lindsay on the perimeter, far side wing. Wants to go inside to Wenhausen. Here is Wenhausen. Tries to step through, and a travel going to go on Jackson Wenhausen. Here's Taggart Guiley taking it up for Darlington. Guiley over to Glendenning. Glendenning to Fitzsimons. Now, Busher, inside pass stolen away by Wenhausen. He was looking for Paisley on the cut to Lindsay. Now Wenhausen left alone, fires the 3, got it! Wenhausen fills it up from deep, and he's up to 10 on the night. Pointers lead by 12 now, 19-7 with 5:40 to go in the first. Guiley works inside, and it was swatted by Phillips, but a foul before that. And that'll be number 2 on Phillips. It is a shooting foul, so that'll send Taggart Guiley to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Guiley good on about half of his shots from the charity stripe. Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, is proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC, as Guiley is good on 1. TC Networks at Platteville, from IT consulting to security cameras, door access control, and more. Learn more about how they can help you at tcnetworks.com. TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. As on that one, Guiley no good on his second. Mineral Point eventually hauls in the board. 19-8 Mineral Point. Bossert on the outside. Gets it off to Dempsey. Dempsey leaves for Ashelman on the near side wing. Now back to Bossert. Bossert is looking for Dempsey. Not going to be there. Instead to Lindsay. Lindsay back to Ashelman. 5:15 on the clock, first half. Tight defense from Darlington. Guarding Mineral Point's big three on the perimeter. Lindsay over to Ashelman. Back to Dempsey. Now Lindsay. Over to Ashelman. Under 5 to play in the first half. Ashelman between the legs, back out. Thought about the three, now steps back. Wenhausen. Jab, step, three ball. Eyes it up, no good. Bossert controls the rebound and another opportunity coming up for Mineral Point. Bossert on the outside to Ashelman. Now Dempsey. Coach Burrison calls out the play. Ashelman fires the three, and it's no good. Lindsay with the board and a foul. It's going to go on Busher.
Darlington fouls on number 12, Broker Busher, his first, 7th on the team.
They'll push Mineral Point into the bonus. Lindsay shooting 2, however, that was a shooting foul, as we mentioned. Lindsay, very good free throw shooter, 2 for 2 so far tonight. Make that 3 for 3 on that one. Russell Family Farms of Shullsburg, a proud tradition of family farming in Shullsburg since 1852. Russell Family Farms reminds you to support your local ag producers. And for supply at Platteville, your total commercial plumbing and heating wholesale outlet when quality parts are needed. The experts rely on First Supply in Platteville. Lindsay, 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. On the other end, Guiley cannot get it to go. Mineral Point 21, Darlington 8, 4:20 to go in the first half here between Swall heavyweights. On the outside is Ashelman, over to Lindsay. Lindsay steps, gathers, layup off the mark. Potterton falling away, can't get the board, falls to Wenhausen instead. Now Potterton, inside, hook shot, got it. Atlee Potterton standing at 6 feet, 6 inches. Gets that one to go over his defender. Now Fitzsimons, ball up for grabs, stolen away by Ashelman. Here comes Mineral Point. Dempsey, back to Ashelman, now to Lindsay, deep three, up, got it! Eli Lindsay feels it up from deep. The crowd rising to their feet, 26-8. Mineral Point, Darlington takes a timeout. We'll take 1-2. Back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 5. From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
Anderson Weber Toyota invites you to the Dubuque Auto Show Friday, January 31st through Sunday, February 2nd at the Grand River Center. Stop by their booth to get an up-close look at some of the newest and most popular Toyota models on display in a temperature-controlled environment. Their sales team will be on site to answer your questions and help you find the Toyota that's right for you. You'll also have the opportunity to win some great prizes. Don't miss the Dubuque Auto Show with Anderson Weber Toyota when you're ready.
In Game 5.
3:40 to go in the first half here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. As it's Mineral Point in control so far against Darlington. The Pointers lead 26-8 over the rival Redbirds. Here's Darlington on offense. Kagan Paisley in the near corner looks for Guiley inside. Back out. Paisley will fire the three. And that one skips in and out. Rebound hauled in by Ashelman. Ashelman to Lindsay. Up to Wenhausen. Dempsey, corner three on the way. Got it! Keaton Dempsey. Shooting over 40% from behind the arc this year. Gets the triple to go. And Mineral Point leads by 21 points. On the outside, Guiley over to O'Brien. And an illegal screen now on Darlington, drawn by Dempsey. And the Mineral Point side is hyped up. That's going to go on Dante Glendenning. That's 2 on Glendenning and 8 on Darlington. No free throws, as that was an offensive foul. Here's Ashelman. Over to Wenhausen. Wenhausen drives, gathers, lays it in short. Rebound brought in by Guiley. Guiley up to Kagan Paisley. Now back to Guiley. 2:40. First half. Busher. Catch and shoot three up. And out off the back iron. Lindsay hauls in the rebound. Here is Eli Lindsay on the near wing for Mineral Point. Lindsay over to Wenhausen, off the screen. Wenhausen back to Lindsay. Now to Wenhausen, Ashelman on the far side perimeter. Lindsay gathers, back to Ashelman. Ashelman sees a lane, drives, double clutching, no good. Rebound won by Busher. Busher, no look pass. And his man not ready for it. A turnover by Darlington. And a timeout on the floor by Coach Burrison. And Mineral Point will take 1-2 back after this on 97.7 Country WGLR at the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 6.
Are you interested in a free checking account? Do you need a debit card today with no delay? We now offer instant issue on our debit cards. Hi, my name is Sarah Rogers, your branch manager, retail lending officer from Mound City Bank in Cuba City. When you open your checking account, we can now issue card so you have purchasing access to your account the day it's open. Stop by or call us at 608-744-2141 for more details or questions. Mound City Bank is proud to be here for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mask Water Technologies invites you to unwind with the ultimate in relaxation, your own Bullfrog Spa. During Mask's exclusive President's Day hot tub sale, January 30th through February 17th, enjoy up to $2,000 in instant rebates or 36-month special financing on a brand new Bullfrog Spa. With Bullfrog's exclusive jetpack therapy system, you can create a personalized massage experience right in the comfort of your home. Visit Mask Water Technologies in Platteville and Dubuque before this sale ends February 17th. Bullfrog Spas. Peaceful body, peaceful mind, peaceful home.
In Game 6.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Under 2 to go in the first half. Pointers of Mineral Point on top of Darlington, 29-8. And Swall Boys hoops. This one out of bounds. Poked out by Paisley. That's Paxton Paisley to be Mineral Point ball. The inbound right in front of the Redbird bench. Ashelman into Lindsay. Lindsay going to work it inside. And an offensive foul on Eli Lindsay, drawn by Taggart Guiley. Smart play there by the Redbird senior. That is just the 4th foul on the half on Mineral Point. There's 1 on Lindsay, 1 on Ashelman, and 2 on Phillips. Some potential foul trouble to keep our eyes out here for Darlington. Zuberbuehler with 2 and Glendenning with 2. Still no trouble yet, but something to keep in mind. Here's Paxton Paisley up top now. Zuberbuehler almost had it stolen away on the deck and gets it up to his man. Kind of a broken play here for Darlington. What can they get out of it? They'll reset here. Guiley up top, back to Busher. 1:22 on the clock. Busher, deep 3, no good. Lindsay with the board. Lindsay with 1:12 to go in the first half. Pointers on top of the Redbirds, 29-8. Ashelman doubled. Dempsey, blocking foul going to go on Guiley, and that's number 2 on him. And that'll send Dempsey to the free throw line. Dempsey not Mineral Point's best free throw shooter, but his shooting stats have gone up throughout the year, so got to make 1 to get 2. We'll see how he fares on his first. Front end of the 1-and-1, good for Dempsey, so he earns another free throw. Apple River State Bank and First Community Bank of Galena, where you'll find local bankers making local decisions and meeting local needs. It's a banking experience you won't get anywhere else. Apple River State Bank and First Community Bank of Galena, member FDIC. And Guys Truck and Tractor for heavy-duty towing and recovery. Reliable 24-hour roadside service and long-distance transports. Call on Guys Truck and Tractor in Kieler and at guystruck.com. Dempsey up to 5 points, 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. Under a minute to go. Mineral Point 38, Darlington 8. Mineral Point 31, Darlington 8. First half, my apologies. Here's Grady O'Brien, spinning inside for the Redbirds, makes Potterton jump, and a tough bucket there for Grady. O'Brien averaging 3 points a game for the Redbirds, and he gets that one to go there. 31-10, Mineral Point, 38 seconds. We'll see if Mineral Point going to stay on the accelerator or go for one final shot. Looks like they'll keep pushing as Ashelman can't get it to go. That one out of bounds. Last touch by Kagan Paisley, so 27 seconds. Mineral Point will get another opportunity. Next foul pushes Mineral Point into the double bonus, something to keep in mind. Wenhausen over to Lindsay, and Coach Burrison calls for the last shot. Ashelman outside with 17 seconds. Down to 15 on the clock. Lindsay over to Ashelman. Coach Burrison calls out his plays. We're down to 10. Ashelman works to his left. Now spinning, inside, gathers, rises, leaves it short. 2 seconds, rebound by Darlington. Zuberbuehler, full court shot, up, no good. And after one, a dominant first half by Mineral Point as the Pointers of Mineral Point 31, Darlington 10. We'll take a break. The Peterson Agency halftime report comes your way after these messages on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 7.
At Dubuque Mattress, we understand the quality of sleep is important. That's why when you shop at Dubuque Mattress, you'll notice that we are invested in finding the right mattress for you. Our trained and experienced sales staff won't sell you something you don't need or want. We care about you, the customer, and want you to get the best night's sleep possible. That's our goal. Stop in today along Highway 20, directly across from Tyson's. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
The weather can be unpredictable in the tri-states. Tune into 97.7 WGLR and we'll keep you up to date on all the cancellations and delays affecting the tri-states. Cancellations and delays are presented by Abercamp Auto Body. This is Rose from Abercamp Auto Body on Main Street in Platteville. You can rely on us for complete and professional auto body repair services. Whether it's paint, frame straightening, or collision repair, we do it all. Abercamp Auto Body celebrating 10 years in business on Main Street in Platteville. Check us out on Facebook and online at abercampautobody.com.
In Game 7.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Some free halftime entertainment for you. It is halftime entertainment. These junior dancers, the minis, the juniors, and the seniors, presented by Darlington alumni and current Mineral Point staff, Kristen Staver and Aaliyah Lindsay. A little special halftime treat for you. Tonight's game brought to you by Mountain City Bank, whose total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFbank.com. Member FDIC. Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Melody Hawkins of Exit Professionals Real Estate Monroe. Her experience in real estate takes the stress out of buying your next home, farm, or business. For all your real estate needs, Melody Hawkins, Exit Professional Real Estates Monroe. Tonight's game also brought to you by Eggers Enterprises in Linden, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping. They're not done until your expectations are met and exceeded. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call 608-513-2190 today. Lafayette County Abstract Title in Darlington and Tri-County Title Service in Platteville, serving Southwest Wisconsin since 1981. Selling your property, call Heath for title insurance and an insured closing. Visit either Main Street, the location, or on the web. Saunders Oil Service of Warren, family-owned for 3 generations, offering delivery of premium diesel fuel and gasoline products to tri-state homes, farms, and businesses. Saunders Oil Company of Warren. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy's Construction Incorporated is a family-owned and operated ready-mix aggregate and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Schneidels Heating and Cooling, your local Daikin dealer. Call Bradley Schneider for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service from Schneidels Heating and Cooling in Bloomington. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. Grant Regional Health Center's Ortho Team. Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provides exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, better health starts here. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of the main in Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. Russell Law Office, here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate, administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist, the pros at Brian's, get the job done right. For unexpected dings or a major repair project, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint. Lancaster and Clare Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, is proud to support our community events. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. This is the Peterson Agency halftime report, presented by the Peterson Agency in Argyle. Brian Peterson specializes in home, farm, auto, and umbrella policies. So it's been dominant by Mineral Point so far. Through the first about 5-6 minutes, Darlington only had 1 made field goal, and to this point in this one, just 10 points in the first half on what's been a pretty low-scoring night. They've turned the ball over, and Mineral Point has capitalized. You've seen Mineral Point get into this one emotionally as well. Darlington been committing more fouls, while Mineral Point been playing a more clean game to this point. Let's take a look at some statistics for both sides. We'll start off with Darlington, and we'll look at scoring first. Busher's got 5, O'Brien's got 2, and Guiley's got 3. That's how we get up to 10, but fouls the key thing here. Busher's only got 1, but we've got 2 fouls on Zeke Zuberbuehler, 2 fouls on Taggart Guiley, and 2 fouls on Dante Glendenning. We will add Paxton and Paisley. Both have 1 foul as well, but still a lot of fouls, and if any of those 3 players, specifically Glendenning, Guiley, or Zuberbuehler, pick up fouls early in the first half, second half could be detrimental for Darlington. On the other side for Mineral Point, we'll talk fouls quick. Not that many, only 4. Lindsay with 1, Ashman with 1, Phillips with 2. Phillips sat a lot of that half. Leading the way scoring for Mineral Point, it's been Jackson Wenhausen with 10. Drew Ashman got it kick-started for Mineral Point. He has 7. Eli Lindsay also with 7. Atlee Potterton's got a pair, and Keaton Dempsey has 5 for Mineral Point. Now, take a look at some scores in the area on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Scales Mound takes down Polo 65-46 in Illinois boys basketball. At the half in girls hoops, Argyle Peck leads River Ridge 38-18, and a big score in the SWAL to keep our eye on. Fenimore 31, Cuba City 24 at halftime. Something we talked about with Coach Burrison. Any team can win any game on any given night in conference, especially when you're in the SWAL, one of the best conferences in D4 in Wisconsin. And that's something I wholeheartedly believe, and that is the case certainly this season. Any one of these teams in this league could win any game any given night, and we've seen that in a different number of cases throughout this year, and we might be seeing that in that game between Fenimore and Cuba City. We'll bring you some more updates on that one and our other scores as well later in the night. Quickly, let's talk keys to the second half. Darlington has got to clean things up. They have turned the ball over, committed a number of fouls. It's been a rough half for Darlington. Additionally, beyond that, Darlington needs to get their guys scoring the ball. They need to get Busher putting up shots. They need to get Zuberbuehler putting up shots. At this point, you're down. You got nothing to lose. Start putting up shots. On the other end, Mineral Point, you got to keep doing what you're doing and keep your foot on the pedal. One thing we saw is after that illegal screen was taken, Mineral Point on the court, the players looked really excited. And a lot of emotion that they were showing. And the very next play, we saw Coach Dan Burrison call a timeout and calm his guys down. The thing is, still 18 minutes of basketball to go, and Mineral Point does lead by 21 right now. Pointers have come back. They were down 19 and came back earlier this year. Nothing stopping Darlington from doing the same. So Mineral Point got to keep their foot on the accelerator, keep those emotions in control, and if both of these teams can get any of those things to go their way, it's going to be a great second half of basketball. We'll take a break here. Second half between Darlington and Mineral Point after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 8. Partner with Fuller's Milker Center and Gia for your next milking system. From the Dairy Pro Q robotic rotary parlor to the Dairy Robot R9500 robotic box milking system, you select the best fit for your operation. With Gia, you can also choose from market-leading conventional parlors, fully equipped with automated accessories. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to start building your dream milking facility.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
In Game 8.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Buzzer about to sound, and the second half about to get underway between Mineral Point and Darlington here at Mineral Point High School. Going to be a great second half. Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, and refinishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only Natural Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. Krantz's Auto Parts, your local hardware, Hank, and Napa dealers. See Rob Krantz and the crew at Krantz Auto Parts for full service repair on cars and light trucks. Sue Krantz Auto Parts, a Fenimore and Bytech Resource Management, a greener way, Bytech Resource Management of Monroe. Darlington to inbound the ball from the half court and wander away in the second half of basketball between the Redbirds and the Pointers. Here's Zeke Zuberbuehler. Zuberbuehler scoreless so far. Busher on the outside, looks to go inside on Lindsay. Can't gain any ground, so he goes to Glendenning. Now back to Busher. Busher now going to work on Dannenberg. Leaves for Zuberbuehler. Zuberbuehler on the perimeter. Now steps inside, gathers, and lays it in for the easy two right on cue. Zeke Zuberbuehler throws in his first bucket of the night. Here's Jackson Wenhausen taking it up for the Mineral Point Pointers. 40 seconds into the first half. Drew Ashelman on the far side wing inside. Dannenberg leaves for Phillips. Phillips, Lindsay, three ball, got it! Beautiful offense there by Mineral Point. Made the pass, made the extra pass, and made one more extra pass to turn an easy two into an easy three. Here's Glendenning, loses it on the outside, picks it up just inside the half-court line. Guiley drives baseline, rises up, and can't get it to go. Lindsay throws the board into Tucker Dannenberg's arms. Now Lindsay up to Ashelman. Back to Lindsay. Minute 20 into this second half. 34-12. Mineral Point over Darlington. Ashelman swings back to Dannenberg. Now Lindsay to Ashelman. Ashelman back to Lindsay. Lindsay makes his man jump. Back to Ashelman. Now Lindsay leaves for Ashelman. Ashelman drives, steps into it, layup, up and good off the glass. Tough bucket. Good finish by Drew Ashelman, who's up to 9 on the night. Mineral Point's lead up to 24. Busher over to Zuberbuehler. Glendenning tries the triple. Back iron, no good. And this one saved by Lindsay, and now we'll get a foul on Mineral Point. That one going to go on Jake Phillips. That's his third, so we'll see how quick Coach Burrison is going to go to the bench. For now, he will keep with Phillips. And we'll get Dempsey coming in here. So Phillips comes out 2:02 into this second half. Inbound here goes to Busher. Busher trying to work the baseline on Lindsay. Turnaround jumper, good. Strong finish by Broker Busher. Up to 7. He's got half of Darlington's points. Lindsay on the outside with 15:40 on the clock. In command of his offense. Over to Wenhausen. Wenhausen trying to spin inside, goes back to Lindsay. Very physical game between these two teams. Lindsay inside. Wenhausen takes a dribble, spins, shot short, rebound by Glendenning. Busher tries a three on the perimeter. No good, skips off the rim, out of bounds, last touched by Zuberbuehler. Potterton going to check in for Mineral Point here. He'll take Tucker Dannenberg. Tonight's game brought to you by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors at Belmont, Prairie du Chien, and at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com, and WCC Brands Custom Apparel in Kieler, and at WCC-Brands.com. Here's Ashelman to his left over to Wenhausen. Now Lindsay Dempsey in the near side corner, works inside, layup, good over Guiley and Busher. Keaton Dempsey with an increasing role here for Mineral Point, up to 7 on the night. Zuberbuehler on the outside, works inside, and he walks. Man wasn't there. Lindsay will inbound here for Mineral Point. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and Sloans.com. 14:30 left in the second half. Pointers on top of the Redbirds, 38-14. Wenhausen, and looks like he was out of bounds, so Mineral Point turns that one over there. Darlington ball. Boz Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Boz Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. People's State Bank for personal home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their convenient area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com, member FDIC. Glendenning tries the corner three, and it's good. Dante Glendenning on the board for the first time tonight with the deep corner three. Mineral Point's lead now 21. 14:07. Second half, 38-17. Lindsay, pull-up jumper, and it's good. Eli Lindsay, lethal from that mid-range area. And the Pointers, the first to 40. Lindsay into double figures now with 11. Zuberbuehler on the outside. Goes to Busher coming off a screen. Now Guiley leaves for Glendenning. He'll try another three. That one no good, back iron, and Potterton corrals the board. Pointers call out the play. Ashleman works to his right, now to Dempsey. Lindsay gonna work it inside, sees a lane, and lays in a nice floater there by Eli Lindsay. Lindsay up to 14 here. And now Busher working his way inside, can't get anything to go. Darlington with an offensive rebound, and we'll get a foul now on Mineral Point. That's gonna go on Potterton, his first. And not a shooting foul, so it'll be Darlington ball under their own basket. Paisley, O'Brien, and Fitzsimons into the game for the Redbirds. Tonight's game brought to you by Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville. Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control, over 40 years of professional friendly service. 13 minutes on the clock here, 42-17 Mineral Point. Fitzsimons tries the three, and it's good. Ryder Fitzsimons knocks it in from deep on the far side wing, and it's the first points of the night for the sharpshooting Redbird freshman, 42-20. Now your score. Lindsay working some clock on the perimeter. Now works over to Dempsey. Dempsey gathers, drives. Nice pass in Potterton. Lays it in off the glass. Great offense there by Mineral Point. Now on the other end, O'Brien. He's going to work it inside. Scoop layup. Good, Grady O'Brien with some hustle, averaging just 3 points a game. He's got 4 here tonight. Lindsay over to Ashelman. Ashelman gathers, can't get it to go, gets his own miss. Back up, no good. Ball still up for grabs. Tap back out. Won by Darlington, and Fitzsimons with an easy 2 off the glass. Mineral Point's lead down to 20 with 12 minutes to go, 44-24. Lindsay leaves for Ashelman. Ashelman off a screen, works it inside, loses it out of bounds. Off of Ashelman, it's Darlington ball.
Returning for the Pointers with the 3, Brett
Bossert into the game. He'll give Ashelman some time. Here comes Zuberbuehler. Over to Fitzsimons. He'll try another 3. That one left short. Rebound to Wenhausen. Lindsay taking it up, and we'll get a timeout from Coach Burrison, and the Pointers will stay here for this one. Quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the large independent shoe store in the Midwest. Platteville leads Dodgeville 42-24 at halftime. Fenimore up on Cuba City 53-38, 7:56 left in that one. And Argyle Peck over River Ridge in girls hoops 51-33 with about 10 minutes to go in that one. Those scores on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Couple interesting scores there. We'll see if that one holds. That would be a massive upset if it holds true between Fenimore and Cuba City. So we'll keep bringing updates on that one as we work our way through the night. Tonight's game brought to you by Mountain City Bank, whose total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. And Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com. Member FDIC. Lindsay takes it up for Mineral Point out of the timeout. Working inside, gathers, floater, good. Eli Lindsay with a little bit of space on the inside. And it's an easy 2 for him. Now we'll get a timeout from Coach Uppena. And his Redbirds not happy with that play. He'll talk it over with his team. Tonight's game brought to you by Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Melody Hawkins of Exit Professional Real Estate Monroe. Her experience in real estate takes the stress out of buying your next home, farm, or business. For all your real estate needs, Melody Hawkins, Exit Professional Real Estate Monroe. And tonight's game brought to you by Eggers Enterprises in Linden, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping. They're not done until your expectations are exceeded. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call 608-513-2190 today. Here's Zuberbuehler over to Paisley. Now O'Brien to Busher. Busher leaves for O'Brien. O'Brien back to Fitzsimons. Darlington swinging this one around the perimeter. Zuberbuehler going to work inside here and we'll get a foul. Count it, and 1.
Basket by Zuberbuehler is good. Middle point fouls on
That foul is going to go on Dempsey, his first. So far this half, 3 fouls on Mineral Point. Darlington playing a more clean half. No fouls on the Redbirds so far. Zuberbuehler at the line, good. And he converts the 3-point play. Mineral Point leads it's at 19, 46-27 with 11 to go here. Lindsay taking it up for Mineral Point, working off a screen to Bossert on the near side. Wenhausen, deep 3 ball in the air, and good! Jackson Wenhausen, lethal from beyond the arc. Now Zuberbuehler backing it up on the perimeter to Busher. Busher for Fitzsimons. Now to Paxton Paisley. O'Brien steps into the 3, and it's in and out. Wenhausen corrals the board. Lindsay taking it the other way from Mineral Point with 10.5 to go in this one. Lindsay switches hands right to left, stops, spins, and he walks. Glendenning back into the game for Darlington. Phillips, Ashelman, and Dannenberg back into the game for Mineral Point. Here comes Zuberbuehler with 10:15 on the clock to Glendenning. O'Brien off a screen, Phillips right there. O'Brien works his right, now leaves for Zuberbuehler. Zuberbuehler going to work on Bossert. Works inside, leaves for O'Brien, now back out Glendenning. He'll take to the baseline, and we'll get a foul on Mineral Point, and Pointer fans not happy with that one. It's going to go on Wenhausen. You can hear the reaction. Larson will check into the game for Darlington as we've reached the under 10 here. Zuberbuehler inbounded, stolen away by Wenhausen, and Wenhausen can't get the layup to go in transition. The hardest shot in basketball, and it doesn't go that time for Wenhausen. Just took an awkward step there as that one's out of bounds and going to stay with the Redbirds. Wenhausen's had problems with cramps and walking gingerly off the court. He'll head to the bench. Lindsay in his place. Inbound here goes to Glendenning. Glendenning, Zuberbuehler, 3-ball up, foul, and it'll be 3 free throws for Glendenning. It's going to go on Tucker Dannenberg. That's Dannenberg's first. That's 5 team fouls this half on Mineral Point to 0 on Darlington. Zuberbuehler good on just over half of his free throws. First one up and good. Zuberbuehler scoreless in the first half. He's got 6 with that one so far in the second. Second for Zuber-Buehler. Up and good, 2 for 2 so far. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy's Construction is a family-owned and operated ready-mix aggregate excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction, Mineral Point. Third free throw on the way for Zuber-Buehler. Up and good. 3 for 3 on that trip to the line is Zeke Zuber-Buehler, up to 8 this half. Mineral Point 49, Darlington 30. 9.5 to go in this one. Lindsay over to Bossert. Bossert kicks to Ashelman. Back to Bossert up top. Lindsay to Ashelman is Wenhausen. We'll check back in. Glad to see he's all right. Ashelman to Lindsay. Lindsay. Step back 3. Up and good. Eli Lindsay showing off offensively here in the pointer lead. Back up to 22. That puts Lindsay at 19 tonight. O'Brien blocked from behind by Phillips in a late foul. Comes in, it's on Phillips. That's number 4.
Jacob Phillips is 4. 6th on the tee. At the line for Darlington.
That'll send Grady O'Brien to the line for the Redbirds. O'Brien got 4 so far tonight. First free throw, no good.
Returning for the Porters, number 5, Jackson Wenhausen, and number 24.
Wenhausen and Potterton will come in here for Mineral Point. One more free throw coming up here for O'Brien. Free throw up, short. Lindsay with the rebound. Redbird Jr. can't get any of his 2 free throws to go there. 8:50 to go here. Mineral Point 52, Darlington 30. Ashelman on the outside. Over to Lindsay. Now Ashelman. Wenhausen, 3 ball, up, short, rebound, Glendenning. Zuber-Buehler, eyes ahead as he takes it up the floor for the Redbirds with 8.5 to play. Leaves for O'Brien. O'Brien working inside. Goes back out to Larson. Back to O'Brien on the perimeter. O'Brien takes a step outside. Larson fires the triple, and it's good. Michael Larson with the 3 ball. Larson averaging under a point per game. Gets the 3 ball to go there on his first made bucket of the night. 8 to go here. Mineral Point leads 52-33. Ashelman works inside and back out to Lindsay. Mineral Point. Lindsay fires a 3, and it's good! Eli Lindsay, another triple! Lindsay, over 20 here as the pointer lead back up to 22. O'Brien on the outside, back to Larson. Larson, foul going to go on Dannenberg. Dannenberg picks up his 2nd, and that's number 7 on Mineral Point. So that'll send Michael Larson to the free throw line to shoot 1 in the bonus. Guiley, Paxton Paisley.
Number 3, Kagan Paisley. Returning for the pointers, number 21, Keaton Dempsey.
It's like some confusion on some substitutions for Darlington. Dempsey back in for Mineral Point. Larson got to make the first to get the 2nd. Larson's first free throw up and good. So we will get 1 more. Saunders Oil Company of Warren, family owned for 3 generations. Offering delivery, premium diesel fuel, and gasoline products to tri-state homes, farms, and businesses. Saunders Oil Company, Warren. Larson had a 3 ball, gets the free throw to go there, and he'll get another one here. Got it to go. 2 for 2. Michael Larson. Lafayette County Abstract and Title in Darlington and Tri-County Title in Platteville, serving Southwest Wisconsin since 1981. Selling your property? Call Heath for title insurance and an insured closing. Visit either their Main Street location or visit them on the web. Wenhausen inside will get a kickball violation, so it'll stay with Mineral Point. Mineral Point 55, Darlington 35 with 7:25 to go in this one here. Donnie's Tire and Auto, call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service at 568-3014, 568-3014, your home for excellent car care. As Donnie's Tire and Auto, Dickeyville. Lindsay no good on a three. Busher no good on a three. This went out on Wenhausen. It'll stay with Darlington. Inbound here to Busher. Now inside, Glendenning left alone. Can't get it to go. Potterton skies for the rebound. Tonight, just not Darlington's night shooting the ball. Lindsay over to Ashelman. Ashelman backs out to Lindsay. Now Ashelman to Wenhausen and back to Lindsay. Ashelman works the baseline, rises up, shot, no good, but we will get a foul. It's going to go on Darlington, and that's going to go on Kagan Paisley, his second. That's just the first team foul of the half for Darlington. Very clean half they've played compared to that first. Ashelman will get a pair of free throws where he shoots about 60%. First one, no good, back iron. Throws up a brick. One more coming up. Ashelman with 9 for Mineral Point. Kind of had the offensive spark early, but has slowed down significantly since then. Good on his second. Ashelman 1 for 2 on the trip to the charity stripe. Busher works to his right, trying to spin off of Lindsay. Step back jumper, no good, back iron. Lindsay grabs the rebound and slows things down. He'll work it up here on Busher, over to Ashelman. Now Wenhausen, corner three, left alone, up, got it! Jackson Wenhausen with a 3 ball, and the Mineral Point makes Darlington pay as Wenhausen falls into the Darlington bench. Mineral Point 59, Darlington 38. 6:19 to go in this one. Here's the inbound pass to Guiley. Guiley looking for a spot to go with this one. Gets it to Glendenning. Now Zuberbuehler in the near side corner. Mineral Point switching on there. Now Guiley driving back. Zuberbuehler, 3 ball in the air. And no good, out of bounds over the backboard. Inbound here to Ashelman. Lindsay taking it up, 5:55 on the clock. Mineral Point up 59-35 over the Redbirds of Darlington. Lindsay. And we'll get a foul there on Zuberbuehler as Lindsay's passing that one off to Dempsey. That's Zuberbuehler's third. Zuberbuehler's picked it up this half scoring, but the deficit only grows larger. Inbound here goes to Lindsay. Lindsay gathers and lays it in, the reverse layup for Eli Lindsay. And now we'll get a foul on the other end on Guiley as Mineral Point steals away the inbound, and another opportunity earned by the Pointers. That's Guiley's third foul. Mount City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Inbound here goes to Potterton. Ashelman works to his left, back out to Dempsey. Dempsey leaves for Dannenberg. Dannenberg to Ashelman. Ashelman, Dempsey, baseline, elevates, and a pair of free throws coming up. That's going to be number 4 on Guiley.
Number 1. Taggart is fourth on the team. At the line for the Pointers, Keith Dempsey, shooting 2.
Dempsey good on free throw number 1, up to 8 on the night there. Community First Bank for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Dempsey no good on number 2. 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. Pointers up 62-35. Here's Kagan Paisley on the outside, over to Busher. Now Paisley working to his right. Leaves for Guiley. He'll try the 3 straight on. No good. Potterton with the rebound. Under 5 to play, and this one's been all Mineral Point. Potterton over to Ashelman. Wenhausen drives, stops, and he walks. 4:41 to go here. Mineral Point leads 62-35. We'll get some subs. Fritz's Burner Service in Darlington. Contact Fritz's Burner Service, your best choice for all heating and cooling needs in Darlington and the surrounding area. Check them out at fritzsburnerservice.com. Here's Fitzsimons. Baseline. Now Paisley on the outside. O'Brien. Over to Fitzsimons. Paisley just saves that one from going into the backcourt. And now losing it here is Darlington out of bounds. Another Redbird turnover. Mineral Point ball. Melody Hawkins of Exit Professional Real Estate Monroe. Her experience in real estate. Take the stress out of buying your next home, farm, or business. For all your real estate needs, Melody Hawkins, Exit Professionals Real Estate Monroe. And looks like Mineral Point going to clear the bench here.
Also in for the Pointers, number 20, Hudson Schrader.
Both teams going to get some guys down the bench, some action. The 5 on the floor for Darlington right now. Larson, O'Brien, Carpenter, Paxton, Paisley, and Fitzsimons for Mineral Point. Finley, Lee, Bossert, Hudson, Schrader, and Dempsey. Bossert gathers, no good. Rebound by Schrader outside to Finley. Now Dempsey over to Bossert. Finley kicks back to Bossert. Lee to Dempsey. Dempsey drives, gathers, and lays it in. Nice finish there by Keaton Dempsey, and the Mineral Point lead up to 29 points. O'Brien to Larson. Now Fitzsimons trying to work it inside on Dempsey. Loses it, hits the deck, and gives up to O'Brien. 3 ball here from Fitzsimons, short. Rebound to Schrader. And we'll get a substitution timeout here for Mineral Point. Torin Bomstead going to come into the game for Darlington. Blaze White will check in.
For the Pointers, number 1, Torin Bomstead.
Tonight's game brought to you by Eggers Enterprises in Linden, specializing in residential, commercial, landscaping, and hardscaping. They're not done until your expectations are exceeded. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call 608-513-2190 today. Bossert over to Finley. Finley back to Vomstead. Now Bossert. Inside Lee. Going to be a foul. Mineral Point not in the bonus yet, so Pointers will inbound it from under their own basket. That's going to be foul number 2 on Paisley. It is 5 on Darlington. Cole Ripp into the game for Mineral Point. Allen Miriam into the game for the Redbirds.
Number 0, Cole Ripp.
Lee. In here now, Schrader on the outside, switches hands. Lee up top, over to Vomstead, 2:43 to play, 64-35 your score. Schrader gathers, trying to work into this one, falling away, cannot get it to go off the glass. Rebound hauled in by Larson. Larson now to Paisley. Paisley loses it on the deck. Up for grabs, and we'll have a held ball, possession, Mineral Point.
Checking in for Darlington, number 15, Evander Wolf.
Evander Wolf into the game for Darlington.
Jump ball, possession, Mineral Point.
Inbound here to Finley with 2:20 to play. Stay with us, folks. After the game, we'll have the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show, and hopefully hear from some victorious Pointers, as Lee was no good on the shot there. Vomstead with the offensive rebound. His turnaround hook shot no good. Lee, another offensive rebound, and this one stolen away by Michael Larson. Larson will slow things down for the Redbirds. Inside, Larson rises up and gets it to go. Michael Larson with 7 points tonight, in one of the biggest scoring nights of his career. Inside, Rip gets it to go on the glass. That's Cole Rip for Mineral Point. The junior forward gets that one to go. Larson loses it over to Wolf. Now Larson with 1:25 to go. Merriam kicks to Wolf, and this one a turnover. It'll be Mineral Point ball. Into the game here for Darlington. Garrett Paulson and Yexon Moncada into the game for Mineral Point. Keegan Winger and Wyatt Pete. 1:14 to go in this one. Vomstead over to Lee. Now Pete on the perimeter. Over to Lee. Now Rip left alone, tries a three. That one no good. Rebound brought down by Brylan Lee and stolen away by Darlington's Yexon Moncada. Going the other way is Blaze White. Now Moncada tries a three. That one off the mark. Here they go the other way. Mineral Point, Pete. In the corner, Mineral Point probably not going to take any more shots. Here's Pete on the outside. Layup, no good. Rip, offensive rebound, putback, no good. Rip with another opportunity, and Pete loses it. Down to the final 14 seconds in this one. Here comes Blaze White. White will try a three. No good. Lee with the board, and that'll do it. End to end, wire to wire, a dominant statement win for Mineral Point. Your final score, Mineral Point 66, Darlington 37. We'll take a break post-game after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 9.
Hello, Ben here from Darlington Family Dental. Your smile is as important to us as it is to you. Give us a call and schedule a consultation to figure out if clear aligners might be right for you. The consultation is free. Zero interest financing is available. This solution for your smile might be more cost-effective than you think. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Tune in to the Southwest Tech Agriculture Farm Show with Bob Mittendorf weekday mornings from 5 to 6 a.m. Bob Mittendorf is the premier agriculture voice in the tri-state area, and he's teamed up with Southwest Tech to give you the latest agricultural news, markets, and a whole lot more. So don't miss the Southwest Tech Agriculture Farm Show with Bob Mittendorf right here on 97.7 Country and WGLR.com. Southwest Tech, this is where you belong.
In Game 9.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Mineral Point with a dominant win over Darlington. They're in the front seat now in the Swall as they hope to cruise to the finish. 66-37 your final score. Another important score tonight to take a look at is Fenimore took down Cuba City 71-59. So with that now, Cuba City has got 3 losses in the conference. Darlington has got 3 losses in the conference. So I think it's pretty safe to say that besides Mineral Point, the biggest winner tonight has got to be the Southwestern Wildcats. Taking a look at the Swall standings heading into the action tonight, it was Southwestern at 6-3, Darlington at 7-2, Cuba City at 7-2, Mineral Point at 8-1. So there is now a 3-way tie at 7-3 for second place in the Swall. So big one there. We'll take another break. You're listening to High School Boys Basketball on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 10.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Hello, Mitch here from Kieler Family Dental. There's never been a better time to explore what's possible for you and your family at our 3 state-of-the-art facilities. From routine dental care to same-day crowns to clear aligners, veneers, and implants, we cover a wide spectrum of dental services. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
In game 10.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. A 66-37 win for Mineral Point over the Redbirds of Darlington. And Mineral Point advances to 14-1 on the season. The lone blemish that lost to Southwestern, but very different team we saw here tonight for Mineral Point. Sheer dominance. Darlington just could not figure things out offensively, defensively. Turned the ball over a lot. Mineral Point took advantage, and as we said earlier, from wire to wire, a big one for Mineral Point. We'll take another break. The Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management postgame show after this on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Postgame 3 minutes.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Does that number calling you look familiar, but you aren't sure if you know them? It could be a scam using spoofing. I'm Lancaster Police Chief Deborah Rukoff. Spoofing is a way scammers make it look like an area number, or even a number you know, is calling you. In reality, they could be hundreds or thousands of miles away. Scam calls are after one thing, your information. Prevent a crime before it happens. Keep your personal information private and hang up if you suspect it's a scam.
This public service announcement courtesy of Queen Bee Radio.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN is a nonprofit that has helped me literally change the lives of people in my community through the Donated Dental Services program. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need each year. If you're a dentist or know a dentist, please share this information. Like me, they can make a real difference in someone's life. DLN makes it easy.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more. That's willyouseeone.org.
So, what's the asking price on these houses?
You'd probably be more comfortable living somewhere else.
How long is the lease?
Sure, you can afford to live here, but...
How about the schools?
We have twins.
This neighborhood probably wouldn't be right for your kids.
If a real estate or rental agent says anything like this, you are being discriminated against, and it is illegal. If you experience housing discrimination, go to HUD.gov/fair housing and report it. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
It is time for the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show. Edward Jones is a financial services firm serving individuals and business owners. Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Welcome back to 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. This is the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management postgame show. Mineral Point takes down Darlington in a big win here, 66-37 for the Pointers over the Redbirds. A statement win. And for Mineral Point, they look great offensively all night. Let's take a look at some stats here in this one. We'll start off with Darlington. For the Redbirds, Dante Glendenning finishes with 3. Tad Guiley finishes with 3. Zeke Zuberbuehler puts up 8, all in the second half. Michael Larson finishes with 7 off the bench, and Grady O'Brien with 4 off the bench. It's 7 for Broker Busher, and Ryder Fitzsimons finishes with 5 points. On the other side for Mineral Point, a much different story scoring the ball. Cole Ripp with 2. Atlee Potterton with 4 points, but then the big hitters doing the heavy lifting for Mineral Point. Jackson Wenhausen with 16. Eli Lindsay, 24. Drew Ashelman puts up 10, and Keaton Dempsey puts up 10. Those 4 for Mineral Point, combining for 50 of the Pointers' 66 points. Very, very big night for them. 60 of their 66. Coming from just those 4 players. So offensively, a big night for those guys. That's what it took for Mineral Point to get the job done. And really, I mean, looking at half by half, Darlington was able to pick up the scoring a little more in the second half, but it was a slow start. And from there, it just stayed slow. Things stayed stagnant. Darlington really struggled to get shots up. Broker Busher, very physical player normally, couldn't get past Eli Lindsay, couldn't find his way into the paint. Overall, Darlington really struggled to get into a rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. And without that, their scores couldn't get going. We mentioned in the pregame show that Zeke Zuberbuehler had 28 against Fenimore and 28 against New Glarus. He only has 8 here tonight, and that, as we mentioned, all came in the second half. 0 points in the first half. And for Mineral Point, yeah, just an absolutely dominant performance. They look super strong tonight. Very good scoring the basketball. Very good defensively. Darlington turned the ball over a lot, and Mineral Point capitalized on that. The Pointers shot very well from the free throw line in this one. It was a very good game. For our Tricor Turning Point, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance. We're going to go with Eli Lindsay's 3-pointers that he was hitting in the second half. Darlington looked like they had a little more mojo, but Lindsay kind of put it away with that one. Now we'll bring on Tom Uppena, the head coach of the Darlington Redbirds. Thank you for joining us on our postgame show, Coach.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so taking a look at this one, obviously not the result that you intended and not the same type of game you played in the first half. First, I want to talk about the challenges that Mineral Point gave you defensively in the first half. What do you attribute that to? And I guess not being able to get as many shots up right away. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, well, you know, they're doing what everybody else is doing, and when you get this late in the game, and there's a lot of film, and there's a lot of seeing what other teams do. They took away our 2 best players. We get 20 a game from those 2 guys, and if you look back the last few games, they get all the attention, and it's hard for them to get shots and good looks. So they limit them, and then we just didn't have enough spark from anybody else to fill in those gaps. So hats off to them. They played incredible defense. We didn't get good looks all night, especially in that first half. Had to work for everything, and just, you can't spot a team like Mineral Point 20 points at half. It's not going to end up well. So we got to figure out ways to score more.
Now, another thing I want to talk about is foul trouble, and that's something that you were able to improve on throughout the game. A couple of your guys, I believe it was Glendening, Guiley, and Zuber-Buehler, did have 2 fouls going into the break, but you were able to go much of that second half, over 10 minutes in, without committing a foul. Do you feel like your guys cleaned it up defensively, in a sense, going into the early part of that second half when you started getting some shots to drop?
Yeah, we were better in the second half. We scored 10 in the first half. That's not going to get it done. The second half, we kind of matched them for a little while there. Finally got a little bit going, and then Eli took over, and that was kind of that. So we didn't give up. We bounced back. We kept it fairly even for a little while at least, and but they were just too much.
Now, one thing I do want to bring up, we talked about you wanted to be in the driver's seat to at least get a share of the conference in the pregame. Well, at this point, now picking up your 3rd loss in the conference, looking like that might not be the case if Mineral Point is able to keep winning the way they have been. However, Fenimore did take down Cuba City tonight, so now there's a 3-way tie for 2nd in the league. In your next 5, you've got Belleville, Iowa Grant, Southwestern, the biggest one circled in your next 5, Boscobel and River Valley. What's it going to take for your Redbirds to take this 1-2 skid in the last 3 games and kind of turn it around and have a really good finish to the end of your regular season? Yeah,
we got to find some sort of footing and traction on offense. We're just not scoring like we need to be. Defensively, there's too many mental breakdowns and not executing a scouting report, and we can't have that either. So it's a lot of defensive execution things, and then figuring out ways to score on offense. It's conference championships probably not happening this year, but there's still plenty to play for, and there's still some tough games ahead of us, and we'd like to finish the conference on a positive note and try to get a little bit of momentum heading into the playoffs.
And that's what you mentioned there, Coach. Things not going the way you hope, but still a lot to play for this season. And with momentum and the right things happening at the right time, you never know what could happen. Thank you for joining us on our post-game show, and good luck the rest of the way out this season.
Thank you.
That's Coach Tom Uppena of the Darlington Redbirds. We'd like to thank him for joining us on our post-game show. We'll hopefully hear from Coach Burrison of the Pointers and maybe 1 or 2 victorious Mineral Point Pointers, but we'll take another break here. Our post-game coverage on the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show continues after these messages. This is high school boys basketball on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Post-game, 2 minutes.
Dan Hicks with Paul Azinger, welcoming you back to the Healthy Stand Classic.
We couldn't ask for better conditions. 68 degrees and a UV index of 3.
This direct exposure to midday sun could be increasing her risk to melanoma.
It looks like she's making a change.
Now let's see what she takes out.
Oh, wow. It looks like she's pulling out a 15.
I don't know. It looks like she's going with a 30.
Strong choice.
Incredible.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
Paralyzed Veterans of America believes the veterans who've served and sacrificed deserve access to the best our country has to offer. Access to homes, communities, meaningful employment, and the veterans' benefits they've earned. With PVA staff working inside VA hospitals, no other veterans organization has provided more real-time ongoing support for paralyzed veterans and their families. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. Join PVA in fighting for theirs at pva.org.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/
the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Post-game, 2 minutes.
Back on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Now joined by Dan Burrison, the head coach of the Mineral Point Pointers. Congrats on the win tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Matthew.
All right, so taking a look at this one, and first question I want to ask you is, the final score, the first time you played Darlington, really different than this final score tonight. Was there a different feeling in the locker room before this one, or was it simply execution?
You know, there wasn't a different feeling in the locker room. Of course, at my age, sometimes I can't always get that feel for the locker room maybe. But I thought our kids were focused from the start. I thought we were focused down there, you know, but I thought we were better defensively tonight. I thought that was a big key for us, and I thought we were better on the boards.
Now, taking a look defensively, and what Coach Uppin had told me is really how well you guys were able to shut down their two biggest scoring options. Zuberbuehler had 28 against Fenimore. He had 28 against New Glarus, and you held him scoreless in the first half tonight. Besides that, Busher just couldn't really get anything going against Eli. How does that defense propel your offense early to grow a lead?
I mean, I just thought that was the key, and I thought Eli and Drew were really big defensively, but I thought we communicated really well. When we had to switch on guys knew the assignments. I think part of that is those unsung heroes, that scout team getting us ready the last few days, because I thought they were really good at running Darlington stuff, which is not easy to do.
Now, you talk about that scout team, and one thing you and I were just talking about is some of those guys on the bench, and I got to ask you about specifically the first two guys in the rotation coming off the bench, Keaton Dempsey and Atlee Potterton. Dempsey, big scoring night, put up 10, and Potterton played a lot of minutes when Phillips picked up fouls. What did those two bring for you tonight?
You know, we didn't drop off. We went to the bench. You know, Keaton gives us a lot on both ends of the court. He's really, really athletic, and I just think he's kind of finding his groove here a little bit. And Atlee defensively, he's good. He's long. You know, he gives us a little bit different look than Jake, but they both finish around the rim. And, you know, we didn't really drop off when we went to the bench tonight. So, you know, really good efforts out of both of them.
Now, one thing I want to talk about is everything a little later this season. So we're going into February, but there's still a lot of regular season basketball left to play. Looking at your next five, you've got a big matchup, Swall SWC game. You're taking on Lancaster Monday. You've got Potosi on the 8th and Marshall on the 15th, so big non-conference games. But sandwiched in between those, you're at Cuba City in a very tough environment in Cuba City, and you're taking on Fenimore, who took down the Cubans tonight. What do you think about the next 5 games in your stretch, and what are some of the keys for your team to keep up your winning ways?
Yeah, this may sound like coach speak, but the only one we're focused on is that one on Monday. We'll take tomorrow off. We'll get ready for Monday. Then after Monday, we'll get ready for the next one after that. I think the big thing you have to do, and now we're in February tomorrow, you got to get better every day. No matter who you're playing, no matter if you're playing or practicing, you got to get better every day. And we need to come out after a day off and get better the next practice, and then get ready for the next game, and then we'll get ready for the one after that. But we've got to make sure that this is not the end of anything. This is just the next step, and we got to keep taking steps forward.
All right, well, Coach Burrison, your Pointers are one win better after that one today. Congrats on the win, and thanks for joining us in the postgame show.
Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate the coverage.
That's Coach Dan Burrison of the Mineral Point Pointers, as Mineral Point takes down Darlington here at Mineral Point High School, 66-37, your score in this one. Here's a look at what's coming up on the Queen Bee Radio family of stations. On Saturday, that's tomorrow, the Wisconsin Badgers are at Northwestern in a really good day of college basketball. That one tips off at noon on AM 1590 WPVL AM. On Monday, 3 basketball games in action. Girls hoops, Cuba City's at Platteville. And on the back half of that doubleheader, the Cuba City boys are at Platteville. Girls game, Raleigh Cheese pregame starts at 5:40. Game action at 6 on the X Extreme 107.1. And boys action starting around 7 on Super Hits 106. Also that night, a very intriguing game. Grant County battle, Southwestern at Potosi. That one on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tuesday, Fenimore's at Lancaster in boys hoops. After that result tonight between Fenimore and Cuba City, another really interesting game. We'll see how Lancaster is going to look. They obviously play Mineral Point the night before, so that'll be the back half of a back-to-back. That one starts at 5:40. Game action at 6 on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And in girls action, Potosi Cassville as at Lancaster on the X Extreme 107.1 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. On Thursday, the Mineral Point boys travel to Cuba City in Another big one in the Swall. That's on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. 4 games on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel that night. We've also got girls basketball Highland at River Ridge on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Belmont at Schulzburg in girls basketball right here on 97.7 Country WGLR. And Galena at Scales Mound in IHSA action on the X Extreme 107.1. And on Friday, the girls... Saturday, the boys Swall SWC Clash. Action will get started at 9:25. Pregame show action starts at 9:40 and we'll resume coverage at 12:40 on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And the Badger men's basketball team travels to Iowa at 11 on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL to take on the Hawkeyes. Thank you to Chris Carr, Matt Austin, Kristen Staver, and all the staff at Mineral Point High School for having us tonight. It's always a pleasure. Thanks to our sponsors who make our broadcast possible, and thanks to you for tuning in to tonight's game. The preceding has been a Queen Bee Radio Sports presentation of Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank High School basketball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country, WGLR FM Lancaster. From the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, I'm Matthew Ganinin. Mineral Point with a statement win, 66-37 in boys hoops over Darlington. 97.7 Country Nights is next. 3 days of high school hoops comes your way next week on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. Signing off from Mineral Point High School in Mineral Point. Have a great rest of your night, folks.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
The Tri-State's best variety of country. 97.7 Country, WGLR FM. Lancaster. Serving Platteville,